What is up, you guys? Welcome to Ball Don't Lie podcast, where we talk all things NBA basketball. In today's video, we're going to be playing a quick game about grading the biggest trades of the NBA offseason so far. We're also going to be giving our top 10 centers. So this is the last of the top 10 list. And it flew by pretty fast, but the centers episode is today as well. Um, so yeah, let's get right into the game where we grade. We're actually have an article from Bleacher Report grading the biggest trades of the NBA offseason so far. Shout out to Grant Hughes who wrote this article. Um, and how we're going to do this is that I'm going to ask you guys individually for your grades, and then I'm going to give you guys what Bleacher Report graded the trade as well after. So the first trade is going to be, you guys have to really listen to this because there's a lot of pieces, a lot of players. So it's the Jrue Holiday trade with a four-team trade. So the Milwaukee Bucks received Jrue Holiday and Sam Merrill. The New Orleans Pelicans received Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, two first-round picks from the Bucks, and two swap rights from the Bucks as well. The OKC Thunder received George Hill, Kendrick Williams, Josh Gray, Darius Miller, a first-round pick, and two second-round picks. And the Denver Nuggets received R.J. Hampton, who is obviously a rookie that just got picked in this year's draft. So I'm going to start off with Tejas. What do you think about this trade? And if you're giving, just go team by team. Let's just all go with the Milwaukee Bucks first. So what do you think the Milwaukee Bucks should receive?
Well, I mean, the motto for the Milwaukee Bucks this year has always been keep Giannis happy, and in order to do that, they needed to get pieces, and I think they made the right decision to go ahead and trade for Jrue Holiday, even though it meant giving up so many assets. So for this, I'd give them a B plus. They needed another superstar so they could prove to Giannis that they would need to prove that Milwaukee was a competent organization, and although it's not that great of a asset in Jrue Holiday, it's still something. So I'll give the Milwaukee Bucks a B plus here.
So for me, I think I have to base the grade off of what Giannis does. If Giannis ends up leaving, this is like a C trade because it didn't make. I don't think this makes Milwaukee better in any way. I just think it might make it's going to make their starting lineup better, obviously. But I think overall, even now, their franchise doesn't get better with this because they're losing so many picks. Just the players they gave up, that's fine. A couple picks, but they gave like a lot of picks. So if as of right now, I think I agree with Tejas. I think it's a B plus or a B at best. It's nowhere near like an A right now. But if Giannis stays because of this move, or this move has something to do with him staying, I think it was definitely worth it.
I agree with Dorian and Tejas as well. I think this should be graded around a B because this trade, it does make their a team as of right now, I think, better. They gave up George and Eric Bledsoe, who are rotational players trade. So I say it makes their team better right now, but they gave up so many, and I just don't think that's Jrue Holiday. So because he's old and unless Giannis stays, it's unless he stays, it's not worth it.
All right, well, you guys were like pretty much spot on. Like Bleacher Report also gave them a B, and I would also give them a B as well. I agree with you guys, especially what Darian said about like this is the grade is basically going to depend on whether Giannis stays or not. I think it was worth it because Jrue Holiday is a pretty good piece, and it's just about those picks. That's the only thing. Like I don't think Bledsoe and George Hill were that big pieces to lose. Especially because they strengthened their roster, getting guys like DJ Augustine and Bryn Forbes. But I'm giving the Milwaukee Bucks a B as well. Now let's move on to the New Orleans Pelicans side of things. Who I'm gonna go again. Who acquired Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, two first-round picks from the Bucks, two pick swaps from the Bucks. So what do you guys think? What do the New Orleans Pelicans get?
Well, if you look at the base off this trade, they gave up Jrue Holiday, but they got Steven Adams, they got Eric Bledsoe back in the trade. They ended up giving away George Hill to get they ended up giving George Hill to get Steven Adams. But I'd give this one for the New Orleans Pelicans, since they got basically 2 first-round picks and 2 swaps, and it's unprotected too for Milwaukee. We still don't know if Giannis is going to leave or not. So, and think about 2027 is 7 years down the line. Maybe Giannis will leave, and maybe he'll stay in Milwaukee for a few years. Maybe he'll leave. Who knows? So, right now, those first-round picks could be valuable, but for right now, I'll give the Pelicans a B+ on this trade. They got a valuable center in Steven Adams. I don't know how they're going to incorporate him with Zion, but it's still a good, decent center in Steven Adams. Eric Bledsoe's a competent point guard. He just got to work on his shooting. And those four first-round picks, 2 swaps, that'll come in handy. So I give this one a B+ for the Pelicans.
So I think since the Pelicans only gave up, I think it was Drew Holiday and George Hill. Oh, sorry, George Hill wasn't their player. Drew Holiday and Kenrich Williams. I think that they get an A- on this trade because Eric Bledsoe is Drew Holiday. His defense isn't too far off. Obviously, he's not Drew Holiday's level, but he is an all-defensive team defender. They also got 4 picks from this, 2 of them being swaps, but still. And they get a very good center. I would say like a top. Actually, let's get into that later. But he's one of the better centers in our league. So I think they won this trade at a grade of A-. I think they won this more than the Bucks did as of right now. And I think they needed a center. I don't think they needed the wing pieces, and they got a better point. Not a better point guard, but they got a point guard now. They can play him beside Lonzo. He doesn't play too much on ball. He's just a very good defender in Eric Bledsoe. But I think I give the Pelicans an A- for this.
I would give the Pelicans an A for this one because they basically just gave up Drew Holiday, Josh Gray, and Kendrick Williams. I think Kendrick Williams was on. What's it called? On the Pelicans, right? They gave up that. They got 4 picks back: Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe. That's such a good deal for them. They get back somebody similar defenders. You said, obviously his offensive output is not the same, but it's not like way too far off. They received Steven Adams, as you said, one of the better centers in this league, and 4 firsts. This trade, in my opinion, is an A at minimum.
All right. So Bleacher Report gave them a B+. I would actually give them a B because I think that you're trading 2 picks to get Steven Adams, who's on an expiring contract, and I don't really like that part of the trade. But I think you got the Drew Holiday trade was a pretty good trade for them. I thought they were like what they did in the draft, taking Kyra Lewis didn't really make sense to me because you had Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, Lonzo, and you just drafted a point guard. You just got rid of Jordan. But we're going to move on to OKC and Denver, and we're not really going to spend that much time on this because they don't really get that many like big pieces. I'm just going to read on a 20. Already have one of the best young cores in the league. See Chris Paul and Abdel Nader, and the Thunder receive Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, who got shipped to Minnesota, Ty Jerome, Jalen LeCue, and the 2022 first-round pick. So the Ricky Rubio trade was basically trading Ricky Rubio for the 17th overall pick and the 27th, and I'm pretty sure they ended up taking Alexei Pokusevsky with the 17th pick, so another young piece. So Sam Presti, I'm gonna just go on first on this one. Sam Presti was just stocking up on picks basically, and from the Thunder's perspective, I think that this is a pretty good trade for them because they also shipped Kelly Oubre to the Warriors. I completely forgot. But yeah, they're just stockpiling up on picks and young assets. So and I think they should have hit the reset button, and they did that. Chris Paul didn't really fit their timeline. He had a pretty good run last year, but from the Thunder's perspective, I would give it an A. What about you guys?
You're absolutely right. The Thunder deserve an A for this. That man Sam Presti been stocking up on draft picks. Holy smokes! It's exactly what you have to do in a rebuild. Stock up on draft picks. Give up your assets for draft picks. And they got a young piece in Jalen LeCue. I think he's really good. I don't know. He played in the G League last year. He gets a first-round pick. He trades Ricky Rubio for, I think, 2 more first-round picks. And And then he traded Kelly Oubre to the Warriors. I'm pretty sure they got a pick back too. So, just stockpiling on picks. I think it's what now, 18 first-round picks in the next 6 years. That's ridiculous. So this is an A for the Thunder, no doubt about it. I mean, they should deserve nothing less than this trade. Maybe get a little bit more for Chris Paul, but other than that, I mean, I really don't see what the negative is. They deserve an A for this.
All right, so for the Thunder, I think I agree with both of you. This trade is I think it is a win-win. But OKC, as you guys said, they're getting picks, and Chris Paul is very old, and he's on a very large contract, and they just gave out Abdel Nader. They got some young pieces. They traded Ricky Rubio for more picks, and Kelly Oubre is a good player, and I think this is A minus for the Thunder because they did still get rid of Chris Paul, who is still a very good player in basketball. So that's why I give them an A minus for this.
I would also give them something around an A minus like that because they just basically traded Chris Paul and Abdel Nader for so many picks because they traded for Kelly and Ricky Rubio, right? And they flipped Kelly and Ricky Rubio for more picks. So they basically just got rid of a guy on a $40 million contract who's old as hell and got so many picks from that. They're I think 3 or 4 picks in the end, something like that. That's crazy in my opinion. So I'd give them an A minus or an
A. And Bleacher Report also gave them an A as well, so we were pretty spot on with that. Moving on to the Suns, if I had to give them a grade, I'd also give them an A. I think the Suns were not only this year, but they're one of the biggest winners of the offseason. And I think Chris Paul is a big part of that reason. You go out and get a guy to complement Devin Booker. So that backcourt is probably going to be one of the best in the league. I think they're going to make the playoffs with that team now, and I think it was a pretty big step for them because they've always been in the lottery. Last year they were really close with that 8-0 run, and I think Chris Paul is a piece that could really put them over the top and get them in the playoff picture. So I'd give them an A as well on this one.
Yeah, no disagreement here. In fact, I'd give them an A plus for this. They needed someone to go alongside Devin Booker, and they got Chris Paul. Perfect. Literally, that's exactly what you would ask for. And I mean, it literally fits. They're going to make the playoffs and they're going to compete, and that's exactly. They needed someone to mentor Booker as well, and I think this will fit out perfectly. I mean, there's not another point guard you want to fit right next to Devin Booker than Chris Paul. We saw what happened with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Dennis Schroeder in OKC. I mean, I feel like the same thing is going to happen in Devin Booker. He might take an even bigger lead. But I mean, I'd say this is an A plus without a doubt for Phoenix.
So I think that I would give both teams. I gave OKC an A minus. I'm gonna give Phoenix an A minus for this too. Although they did get Chris Paul, who is a very good player, he is 35, and he's not like a LeBron 35. He's like an older 35. Although he is still, I would say, a top 15. I haven't really looked at the players going to next season, but maybe top 15 player, probably. And I agree with Titus. I think they will be the best backcourt because Steph and Clay are out, and I don't know how Wall's going to play. It's going to be a good backcourt. But with Phoenix, I think this is all going to end once Chris Paul retires or leaves the team, and then they're going to have to end up trading Booker or Ayton because I don't think Booker and Ayton are good enough to lead the team to, let's say, the finals. I don't think the Suns, even with Chris Paul, are able to go to the finals or go that far. Maybe I think their ceiling is the conference finals if they play as well as they possibly can. But I don't know why I would have given a 30-year-old or a 29-year-old.
The line between
even 32.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hudson here, and I'm sorry. We're really, really sorry about this. The whole entire file got corrupted, and we all couldn't find another time to do it. It took about an hour or something like that. We weren't able to complete it, but the file got corrupted, and we weren't able to complete the top 10 centers video. So, unfortunately, we aren't able to include that clip, but What I will show for the next 2 minutes or so for the rest of the video is all of our lists for the top 10 centers. Hope you guys understand. Again, we're really, really sorry. But either way, that's going to wrap up. Peace.